All right, it's time to lock in, boys. It is officially time to lock in, boys. Everything has led up to this. The conference finals are officially here. And let me start off by saying this. The Celtics versus Pacers, we get that. You guys know I'm a Celtics fan. We get that, all right? Congratulations to Indiana. It's the first time you've been in this position in a minute. We're bouncing you guys out in 6. No cap. This is about Ant-Man versus Luka, all right? Versus is about to feed nations. Forget family members. We're talking large groups of people here, folks. And all right, fine. I'll put the graphic up with Tyrese Halliburton included, okay? Generational point guard. I'm actually happy he's a part of Team USA. Even though I kind of wish Kyrie was a part of the team too, you know what I'm saying? But I recognize he's great. I've been on record saying he's the first person since Magic Johnson to push the pace like this. So, like, as far as the offensive tempo. But anywho, I'm hyped for this Ant-Man versus Luka matchup. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check the timestamps because we're going to be talking about a quick recap of the second round, and then the completely second half of the video will be all dedicated to Timberwolves versus Mavericks, and we will give our prediction. But before we get into Dallas versus Timberwolves, let's do a quick recap of Nuggets Timberwolves. Now, I did have the Nuggets winning this series in 7. Even when Minnesota went up 0-2, I stuck with Nuggets in 7. So I did know it was going to go to a 7th game. I thought Nikola Jokic, when I seen this picture right here, boy, I thought he was about to drop the first 50, 40, 30 game, boy. I thought he was about to have the most violent 40 ball in the 21st century, boy. No cap. I saw this stance and I thought about every evil main character in Disney Channel, boy. I thought he's about to put on a masterclass. He still played well. He still played very well, but he missed a lot of threes, man. He missed a lot of threes that he usually makes. But it was a team effort collectively for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ant-Man struggled with his shot, but he was there for playmaking, leadership, especially defense. He locked Jamal Murray's ass up in the second half. In the words of Ant-Man, he put him in handcuffs. But as you can see, Karl was definitely the best offensive player that night in Game 7 closeout. Rudy Gobert had a double-double. Anthony Edwards, like I said, only 18 points. Most of that did come in the second half. So it was really a team effort, and it was about Minnesota's depth. That was the key. Aaron Gordon, like I said in my last video, he had the Nuggets bench had as many points as you and I did. Besides, like, Braun, it was spooky for the Nuggets bench. So that's why they lost, because of the Nuggets depth, the lack of the Nuggets depth. But shout out to the T-Wolves, man. They proved me wrong. I thought their lack of maturity would kick in, and it didn't. All right, so now let's quickly recap Thunder versus Dallas. And I owe the Dallas Mavericks an apology. I do, all right? Now, before the season even started, when we did our season predictions, like I said, before the season started, I had them barely missing the playoffs, all right? Now, obviously, I've already clarified myself and said that was before the trades happened. Now, once they got P.J. Washington and Gafford and they started playing defense, I started to believe in them a little bit. I even picked them over the Clippers in the first round, all right? I just said that the Kyrie and Luka were the too much clutch people on the court. And even if Kyrie was healthy, I thought they would beat the Clippers in 7. However, I did not think they would beat the OKC Thunder, man. I just thought, yes, Shai was the only superstar on the Thunder, but I just thought the Thunder had the better team. That's why I chose them to win in 7. I thought, yes, okay, Luka and Kyrie are the best players on the court, or 2 out of the 3 best players on the court. But you have a superstar on the other end who's clutch, who can cancel out Luka's clutchness. And then I just thought collectively as a unit, they would be able to contain Kyrie, which they kind of did. I mean, Kyrie was picking his spots. People are talking bad about Kyrie, like Kyrie's offensive game has just not been there, and he's been playing terrible offense. He's picking his spots. Kyrie's been playing fantastic, by the way. He's been doing what's necessary, what's needed to win, locking on the defensive end. He's doing everything Bradley Beal promised he would do in the beginning of the season. You remember when Bradley Beal was like, oh, I'm going to be a two-way player? Boy, when have you ever been a two-way player, man? The only two-way player that's been in Washington in the last 30 years is John Wall and Michael Jordan. 38-year-old Mike and John Wall. But Kyrie Irving is actually getting it done. He's picking his spots. I think up until like the last couple games, most people would agree that he was actually playing a little bit better than Luka. Even Luka acknowledged that he had to step up his game to match the energy and productivity of Kyrie Irving. So shout out to Kyrie. He was clutch. He made big shots. Shai didn't really let me down. The Thunder let me down. Shai played pretty well. I'm not going to even troll Shai. You guys know I always say Ant-Man's better than him. I truly do believe that, but he played well. Even though Anthony Edwards still technically had to play a little better in the playoffs, I'm not gonna lie. But he played well. The Thunder, Jalen Williams, where the hell was he at? I thought he would have a way bigger impact than that. Even Shet got outplayed by Derek Lively and just the Mavericks bigs in general. And that's something I was not expecting. Even if they did lose, I mean, even if they did get slightly outplayed, I thought it would only be marginal. I didn't think it would be like that significant. But it really starts. Everything starts with Dallas on the defensive end in terms of how they're playing right now. When they play good defense, they win. When they don't play good defense and they turn the ball over, they lose. So actually, surprisingly as this might sound, Dallas is going as far as their defense takes them. So give credit to them, man. They played the Thunder well. They did a good job trapping Shai, getting the ball out of his hands, forcing players like Lou Dort to beat them, which clearly he was not capable of. And yeah, I just expected more out of the rest of the Thunder. Like I said, Shai showed up. Shet had his moments, but I just thought that I thought Jalen Williams would have had a bigger impact based on how he has been playing, especially in the regular season. And just like off the eye test, I thought he would have a bigger impact on this series than he actually ended up having. So yeah, give credit to the Mavericks, man. I gotta apologize, man. They've been hooping, man. They've really been hooping. All right, so let's get to my predictions, man. Enough is enough. You guys, this is what you guys are here for. My prediction: Timberwolves versus Mavericks. I think this series is gonna go 6 or 7 games. I'm leaning more towards 7. Now, I have been choosing the opposing team of the Timberwolves all playoffs. I chose the Suns to beat them in 7. The Timberwolves won. I chose the Nuggets to beat them in 7. The Timberwolves won. So you guys know I want Ant-Man to win. I need my Michael Jordan agendas to continue, even though I don't even think it's an agenda. I think there's some eye tests and evidence and playoff statistics that kind of back up he's the closest thing maybe since Kobe to Jordan, especially in terms of athleticism. I think he has even more athleticism than Kobe. Shout out to Nas Reed. You see that Nas Reed graphic, the GOAT. But yeah, man, you guys know I want Ant-Man to win and the Timberwolves to win. So I damn near should be picking the Mavericks to win in 7 just to jinx them so the Timberwolves can win. But my gut feeling is Timberwolves in 7. I'm not going to lie. Or 6. I feel like if they go 7, it would have a less of a chance of winning, even though they have home court advantage. It's hard to bet against Luka in the game 7. So I'm going to say Timberwolves in 6 or 7. I'll just go 6. You know what? Okay, yes. All right, you know what? Timberwolves in 7. I'm saying Timberwolves in 7, all right? I'm saying Timberwolves in 7. Now, as far as the matchups go, I think that Jaden McDaniels is going to be on Luka Doncic primarily, and Anthony Edwards is going to be on Kyrie. I believe it should be vice versa. I think Jaden McDaniels should be on Kyrie, and Anthony Edwards should be on Luka Doncic because of the weight, all right? Jaden McDaniels is going to get posted up. Luka Doncic is just going to post Jaden McDaniels up every single time. I've watched the regular season matchups, even though the Timberwolves are 3-1. That was before they acquired PJ Washington and before Derek Lively ascended to this level. I just seen him take advantage of Jaden McDaniels. He's too skinny, so he can like back down and get to all the spots he wants. He can't do that to Ant-Man. You're not backing down 6'5", 225 like that with generational athleticism. So I think Anthony Edwards stands a better chance in the interior and in the post over Jaden McDaniels in terms of just guarding Luka. Plus, Jaden McDaniels has long arms, so even if Kyrie uses his speed to get past him, he could still be in the play with his length. So I think at some point, Ant-Man is going to be the one to have to guard Luka in the clutch, just like how Ant-Man picked up Jamal Murray. So I'm really interested to see how that matchup works with the entire backcourt. Who's going to guard who? Even with the Mavericks, who the hell is going to guard Ant-Man? Josh Green? That's a good one. Kyrie? That's a good one. Luka? That's a good one. They're going to have to play collectively good defense. Now, PJ Washington can make it a little interesting. PJ Washington, let me let you know right now. You might have a quarter where you slow him down. You might have a game when you slow him down. He's going to kick your ass, and he's going to dunk on you at some point. That's just my perfect. I think the Timberwolves can guard the Mavericks easier than the Mavericks can guard the Timberwolves. Now, they're probably going to come out and try and double or trap Anthony Edwards because that's shown to be the most success as far as slowing him down and getting him off rhythm. But even if they do, the Timberwolves have shown capabilities of getting other players to step up. Karl-Anthony Towns is the best shooting big in the league. Jaden McDaniels is actually hitting corner threes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is the X factor. When he's high, they're almost unbeatable. Naj Reid can come in 6 minutes of the year, can give you somewhere between 10 and 20 any given night. I just think that overall, collectively, they're the better team. Anthony Edwards, I think, can match Luka in clutchness. Now, Kyrie is the difference. I think the X factor for the Dallas Mavericks is Kyrie. The X factor for the Dallas Mavericks, like I said, is either Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Carl, For the Dallas Mavericks, I don't even think it's close. I think it's Kyrie and then maybe PJ Washington, just in terms of like shot blocking and interior defense and being an intimidator on the defensive end. But I think Kyrie is really the X factor. Can he keep up this level of defensive intensity while also being a factor on the offensive end while being clutch? It's a lot to ask, man. It is a lot to ask. I think Kyrie's capable of doing it, but it's a lot to require. So I'm leaning towards Minnesota and Timberwolves. I'm not leaning. I'm saying it. Minnesota's going to win this series. I'm going to pick in 7 just because they're home and they're going to feed off the crowd, even though I hate betting against Luka in the Game 7. I even said that in the Clippers. That's why I picked the Mavericks over the Clippers, because I said if it goes down to a Game 7, you're not beating Luka, man. You're not beating Luka. But if I had to choose a player to overcome those odds in that sentence, it's Ant-Man and this Timberwolves team. Now, I know we don't like to use aura and vibes as a judging basis, but I have to say this team feels like it has championship vibes. I'm not going to lie. Out of all the teams that have championship vibes, it feels like Timberwolves, Celtics have a little bit more championship vibes to them than Mavericks or Indiana. I would probably say Timberwolves, Celtics, Mavericks, then Indiana, just in terms of vibes on who I feel like the aura of the team and how the team gets along, the team chemistry. Not in terms of who's better, because I think the Celtics are probably going to win it all. But we'll say that for another video. But yeah, this is going to be a great matchup. Thanks for watching and listening, and I'm out. Peace. Hey.